Okay, this video was literally just ranting about my favorite books, explaining in full detail every single thing that happens in these tropes. Hello everyone, it's Sunny. I'm so excited for this and I hope you guys are too. I love this trope so much and it's great to know that there's an army of people who also love this trope as much as I do. I'm very excited. I'm giving you these book recommendations. Please give one back. I do be on the hunt for these. We're enemies, but we don't know that yet. One of the best tropes, argue with the wall. The revelation has to be done well, otherwise it literally ruins the rest of the book. Change my mind. I have 5 books to recommend today because there have only been 5 that I've loved, but I love them so much. So the first book is my origin story for why I love this trope so much. Quite honestly, to this day, no other Secret Identity Enemies to Lovers book has topped this book for me. And if you know me, then you know what book this is because it's one of my 5-star favorite reads of all time. And that is The Legend Trilogy by Marie Lu. I can't explain to you how amazing the Secret Identities Enemies to Lovers is in this. I kid you not, this revelation scene, quite possibly one of my favorite scenes I've ever read in any book ever. Just imagine this. Let me paint you a word picture very quickly on this beautiful day. Picture middle school Sunny, okay? She is reading this book about the government's most wanted criminal and June, the government's best soldier. And she's seeing June go undercover, posing as this street girl, trying to find the criminal who supposedly murdered her brother, and then she meets this nameless guy with the most beautiful eyes she's ever seen. That's actually the first description that we have about him from her point of view. And he saves her life. He's super kind and they're building a friendship, having late night chats on the roof. And then, oh my gosh, I have the urge to just literally explain the entire build up and all the details so that you guys can understand how much of a masterpiece the revelation scene in this book is. Shh. Don't say that. I remember literally screaming. I think I actually probably screamed in this one chapter. You know that I go back to just reread that beginning part of the book because it's the best build up to revelation I've ever read in my entire life. And they're on the roof. Okay, if you don't want this mild spoiler, then skip this part, but I can't go this video without explaining. The only thing that June knows about the criminal who murdered her brother is the necklace that was left at the crime scene. They're having chats about to fall in love with each other on this rooftop right now. Right in the middle of their conversation, he doesn't even realize that he's doing it because it's such a habit. He just does this to go touch his necklace that isn't there anymore because he lost it, and June sees that and she's like, this is day. Let me tell you, I was losing my mind when I was reading the scene. The subtlety, the way that it was written, the best scene ever. Oh my gosh, it was literally the best. I can't explain it. I don't even want to explain any more about this book besides that. I can't explain to you how amazing this love story is. Best love story ever. And just the fallout, even better. I love these 2 characters to death. Haven't experienced a love anything like it. And they're literally saving the world together. Uncover this whole government conspiracy. The romance is so good. Their loyalty to each other, I've never read anything like it. And then the ending is the most heartbreaking ending ever. Yeah. Also, my birthday is in June, so no big deal. That's the name of the girl main character. No more questions, please. Okay, I was just ranting about that book forever, but anyway, To Kill a Kingdom. It's one of those enemies to lovers books that's legitimately an enemies to lovers, because you know how there's a spectrum. I've explained this before, but I feel there's a spectrum of enemies to lovers. Oh, this is also a standalone fantasy book for anyone that has commitment issues. It's giving royalty turned pirate, which is one of my favorite tropes. I don't know why. In this world, there are mermaids, the deadly kind of mermaids, and we follow the princess of all the mermaids, a girl named Lyra. Oh my god, this book was so gory and graphic for what? I was so shocked when I read it. I thought that it was just gonna be a fun enemies to lovers, but no, it's actually painful. I could never be a mermaid. H2O who? But anyway, she is the princess. Every year on her birthday, she kills a prince and rips the prince's heart out. She have a secret identity as a human in order to tear the heart of a prince / pirate captain named Prince Elian or Elian. It's E-L-I-A-N. He is known as the mermaid killer or something like that. In this Secret Identities Enemies to Lovers, Lyra already knows Prince Elian's identity, except she's helpless. A lowly human being now, so she can't really do much. But just from her point of view, you can tell how much she loathes humans. It's crazy. And then with Prince Elian, he loathes sirens just as much as Lyra loathes humans. They just think that she was this random human girl who was drowning at sea, and they're oh, we gotta rescue her. And so they take her on board the ship, and she is trying to conspire a way to kill him. Let me tell you that they have such good banter. They're actually smart. I don't know, I feel banter is hard to do really well because both the characters have to be smart smart and clever, but like not annoying. Super slow burn as well, considering the fact that it's like a standalone too. Like it's pretty slow burn, and the revelation is also really slow burn. It doesn't happen until like a long way in, which I love. So yeah, I would recommend this book. Oh, I don't know if I said the author, Alexandra Christo. Okay, the next book is This Savage Song by V.E. Schwab. Shout out to when I was in the emergency room for a couple of hours and read this entire book and the sequel. I love this book so much. This is a dystopian fantasy. In this world there are humans and then there are also monsters, and monsters are basically like the physical manifestation of any type of violent act that humans do. They live in the city that's like split in half. One side is like the monster half, one side is like the human half, and these two sides are in like direct political opposition with each other. And we follow the two children of like the leaders of these two sectors. From the human side we have a girl named Katie. Is her name Katie or Kate? Ugh, not me literally not remembering any characters' names ever. Oh, her name's Kate. Sorry. And then we have a monster named August. August sent undercover as a student to Kate's high school. So he has to sneak over pretending to be a human, end up meeting, and they end up becoming friends. It's really cute. Obviously, Kate doesn't know that August is a monster, and then August doesn't know that Kate is like the daughter of like that guy, right? This is a duology, by the way. There's only 2 books in the series. I literally love their relationship so much. I was so shocked. The relationship is so slow burn. It's so good. One of the best slow burns ever. It's like Secret Identities, Enemies to Lovers, but like within all that, it's also just like the best slow burn friends to lovers ever. Like it's so good. Like low-key gives me Kanej vibes. The revelation was really good too. It happens later on in the book. I hate it when the revelation is too early because I'm like, then what was the point? The reason that August has to reveal that he's a monster is to save Kate's life, and I just love that scene so much. There's just like been so many close calls with the revelations, and then you always like swerve it a little bit, and then this payoff is like so good. He ends up using his like monster like powers and stuff to save Kate's life, and it's just so good. Like their friendship is so wholesome, and like even in book 2 when they kind of cross the line from friends to lovers, it's like so cute and so subtle. It's just so good. I love August. He's so precious. Soft boy bad girl dynamic, and I just love that too. Such a good duology. Okay, the next book is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. Renegade. Do I still remember this? Renegade. Anyway, this is another dystopia fantasy. It gives me like X-Men Marvel type vibes because in this city there are people who have superpowers. They kind of run the government. Then we also follow like a group of vigilante superheroes who like don't agree with the governing. They're like a secret group of vigilante people and no one knows their true identities. We follow a girl named Nova, and she has the power to put people to sleep by touching them. Our second POV is a boy named Adrian, and he's the son of like the leader, the head of the government. He has the ability to draw things and then animate them to life, which is low-key the best power. You would honestly be invincible if you had that power. Start of this book, she basically goes undercover and actually joins like the good superheroes in order to like infiltrate them kind of, and that's where her and Adrian meet. Everyone knows Nightmare, which is her like alias, but no one knows that it's actually Nova. Their friendship is so wholesome. Like it's actually so cute. They would just like chill and like they just have like a crush on each other. Even their first meet cute is so cute. He accidentally bumps into her and breaks her necklace and then draws like the clasp on her necklace. Oh, necklace. I meant bracelet. I'm fully pointing to my wrist. What was that? Adrian has no idea who Nova really is, and if he knew, they would actually be enemies. Not only that, it's like secret identity on top of secret identity. Adrian also has a secret alias that literally no one else knows about. He has just taken it upon himself to like be this like other vigilante. No one has any idea that it's actually Adrian. Everyone's like, where did this guy come from? That alias and Nova's alias meet on several occasions, and they're also enemies. Yeah. It's a lot. And it's like the slowest burn. Revelation has not even happened yet. Like I finished the first book, still are in the hidden identity phase, and like I refuse to like read the rest of the books. I don't even want that to end. Like I think that it's so good. I was reading this book and I was like, oh my gosh, like when are they even gonna reveal their hidden identities? It never happens. It never happened in the first book. I love it so much. Okay, and then the last book that I'll recommend is the only contemporary enemies to lover, because I don't like enemies to lovers in contemporary stories. Fun fact, I just have never really liked it except for maybe the Hating Game. But the stakes are never high enough in our real world for me to like buy into like the enemies to lovers, because life isn't that deep. So I'll let it slide just because I love this book so much and I haven't been able to stop talking about it. So this is just another excuse to talk about this book if you haven't read it already. Letters to the Lost by Bridget Kemmer. This book is like a secret identities, enemies to lovers on the light side. It's more like hate to love. Follow a boy named Declan and a girl named Juliet. They anonymously write letters to each other. Juliet was grieving her mother in a graveyard and left a letter for her mother, and then Declan works at the graveyard as like the lawn maintenance guy because it's part of his community service hours after he got out of juvie. He comes across her letter and writes a small message back, and then that's kind of how that starts. And they build like such a strong relationship. They kind of fall in love anonymously, but they don't know that in real life. They actually go to the same high school and like they don't like each other. It's not that deep as in like they have a burning hatred for each other, but like they they kind of interact with each other and they're like, I don't like that kid. You know what I mean? They just like don't get along, make a lot of snap judgments about each other. The revelation, so good. It's probably one of my favorite parts because Declan finds out that the person that he's writing to is Juliet a lot earlier than Juliet. That was probably my favorite part of this entire book. The time period when Declan knows that it's Juliet, but Juliet still doesn't know that it's Declan. Because during that time, Declan will like go and oh my gosh, I like the urge to explain like everything that happens in these books in like full detail. I just like have to explain it to someone. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna explain it. If you don't want a mild spoiler, like don't watch this part, but I need to talk about this. So at this point, Declan already knows that it's Juliet. Juliet is stranded on the side of the highway and it's like pelting down rain. So she's basically like stranded out here, right? And Declan is like so good at cars. He's kind of hot. But anyway, the only person that knows that she's stranded on the side of this highway is the boy that she is writing to. And he's like, oh my gosh, you're stranded on the side of the highway. Let me come get you. And she's like, oh my gosh, yeah, that'll be great. But she's so nervous because she's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna find out who this guy is. And they've been keeping their identities a secret on purpose, you know, because they're afraid that it's gonna like change things or ruin it. But they're like, yeah, it's about time that we meet. Declan has just found out that this is Juliet. He's having such like inner turmoil about it. And so he ends up not going and she's just stranded there forever being like, where is this kid? And then finally you read Juliet's point of view and Declan comes to help her on the side of the road and he's like, oh, I was just driving and like I saw your car, like, are you okay? And Juliet's like, my friend is coming. And he's like, oh, okay, well, let me just wait with you. And they're waiting in the car with each other. He's not coming, obviously. Declan knows that he's not coming, so he's like, let me just fix your car, let me take you home. Oh my gosh, I just love that scene so much. It was so angsty. Oh my god. Oh, I need to reread this book. I just love this book so much. Okay, this video was literally just like ranting about my favorite books and how much I love this trope, explaining in full detail every single thing that happens in these tropes for each of these books because I just love it that much. Please guys, if you have good recommendations for this trope, can you please leave them down below, comment it down below. But yeah, that's all that's gonna be in this video. I love all of these books so much and this trope is so good. This trope is so good. There's nothing else to say besides that. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already and follow me on my socials. All of it is always linked in the description and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.